All right, let's see if this pops up on the YouTube. For some reason, I was streaming and there was only audio and no video, but nobody put in the chat, "Hey, I can't see you." I saw everybody talking about all kinds of stuff, but no one said, "Hey, Baitman, we can't see you." So I didn't know what's going on. I'm texting my man Rich, my moderator. My moderator didn't even let me know that I wasn't streaming. I had to text him. What's up? What's up, Brooks? So my son's chiefed up. He misspelled it. That's his little YouTube NFL Shorts channel. So anyway, I'm back. So anyway, let's just totally restart this thing from the beginning. So welcome to the Baitman stream. Nothing ever works correctly, it seems. Rich said there's nothing yet, so that's on him because I got people saying I'm here. You guys can see me? All right, you can see me. We're good. All right. I'm checking on my phone to make sure this works. All right, let me go over and delete the old one real quick on the fly. I'm sure YouTube posted the old one. No, I didn't. Alright. So we're back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're an OG, welcome back. Thanks to all the subscribers, channel members, all that good stuff. And now you get to see me talk about the exact same things you heard from me a while ago. But tonight we're going to open up some swim baits. Check out some new swim baits from BIGGS Custom Swimbaits. We're going to check out some new colors from Basstrix Swimbaits and some new baits, and we'll talk about whatever. And I've got some the new 6 cents, the mini draw, the mini trace, and new color jerk bait. I'd love to show you guys. Really excited. So we'll talk about whatever. Good and clear. All right. Answer a few questions as we warm up and y'all get ready to see some baits. Mike Dove, yes, I'm going to be in the Knoxville area this weekend. I am probably going to leave Saturday morning, be there Saturday, and part of the day Sunday, and then I got to work next week. So, but I'm on day shift next week, so we'll try to get a stream back on our Tuesday or Wednesday night. And I may see if I can get somebody there like McKee Outdoors or maybe the Bull Shad booth or Hog Farmer booth. We'll do a little live stream from the East Tennessee Fishing Show. And I think that'd be a fun deal to do. Maybe just a live walkthrough. It may be in the afternoon. So we'll just do a live walk through the East Tennessee Fishing Show. What's up, Benedetto? Thank you, Gravy. All right, you guys ready to actually see some baits now? I am. I just told you. All right, so I want to give a shout out to this company, BIGGS Custom Baits. Sent me a message over on Instagram or Facebook a couple weeks ago. Said, love to get you some baits. I said, I'd love to show them off to you guys, to people, and I'd love to fish them. And so I'm not sponsored by them or nothing like that. And here's what we got here. So there's actually was 2 baits. I wonder if YouTube messed up the date on that. But anyway, this is the first bait. This is the Kraken. Obviously, this is a big profile swim bait to imitate a big gizzard shad. Now this one's just a blank because obviously it's not painted, it's unfished. It's got these big owner trebles on here. I think Junior's wanting in. Big owner trebles on there. It's got a paintbrush tail on here, but it's got this big kind of like pot belly, and you see that? Oh snap, we got a guest in here. All right, come on, be careful. It's cold outside. Oh. Say what's up.
Hey, you.
Tell everybody your name.
Neely.
It's what?
Neely.
Neely what?
Baxter?
Yeah, are you the bait girl?
Yeah.
You are? You ready to go fishing?
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what you got for Christmas for fishing.
A fishing pole?
What kind of fishing pole?
Barbie.
Barbie? Can you cast it?
Yeah.
Yeah? How long? Your hair's getting long.
I know.
You know? Are you just going to make silly faces? You know there's actual people watching.
Yeah.
So, do you do a lot of dancing for TikTok?
Yeah, I danced like 10 times.
Who's your favorite singer?
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Can you name some Michael Jackson songs?
Yeah.
Do you have to play with your face? You don't do that when you're not on the camera.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Are you ready to get down?
there's Smooth Criminal
Smooth Criminal. You like that one?
and Billie Jean.
Billie Jean.
Yeah, who's better? That's my favorite one.
Somebody in the chat said, can you say your ABCs?
Yeah.
Let's hear them ABCs.
A B C D E F G J K K L M N O P U R X W X Y and Z now. Oh, my ABCs next time. Can't you sing with me?
I think we got to work on your ABCs just a little bit. You skipped a few of them. You can't go fishing until you learn your ABCs.
So said I.
Huh?
So said I.
Okay. All right. We'll let Daddy do the bait show, okay? Thanks for saying hi. I love you.
I love
Shut my door because it's cold. Thank you. All right. That little interruption was brought to you by Big Girl. She's ready to go fishing. I'm telling you, I got her a Barbie pole. I didn't even tell her how to do it, and she was flinging that thing down the hallway. But anyway, back to what I was saying. This is the Kraken, and this is a big bait. This one is like 4.5 ounce. So show proportion. This is, God, the bait's always getting hung on something here. To show some proportion here, this is an 8-inch paperweight. Now Junior's in here. Y'all just gonna interrupt me all the time. We ain't gonna get to swim baits. This is gonna be hanging out with the kids show. So this is a BIGGS, the Kraken, and there's an 8-inch paperweight. You can tell a huge difference in the size of the bait. And also this bait's light. It's like 2.5 ounces. This one's right at 5, but you got that big owner hardware on there. There's Junior. What's up? Why don't you get your hair out of your eyes so you don't look homeless? There. That's not out of your eyes. He's got this thing where he wants long bangs like he thinks it's cool or something, and it's not. Here, let me fix your hair. Why don't you wear your hat like that, and people can see your eyes. How, is that better? No?
Yeah.
Looks awful. There you go. Now you look normal. There's Darius. Hey, Darius. So, are you going to come with me to the fishing show this weekend?
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you're coming to the East Tennessee Fishing Show, Junior's going to be with me, and his birthday is next week.
Yeah.
How old will you be?
10.
10 years old. Guys, can y'all believe, it's been following me for a long time, and this dude here used to be with me on the kitchen table, is grown up. Like, now you can see him as he stands up. I used to have to put him up here and you couldn't see him. So, are you going to be giving any autographs at the fishing show?
I don't know.
Do you know how to sign Baitman Jr.?
No.
Well, you will. Trust me. So, Baitman Jr. can't see the Chiefs play with your hair in your eyes. That's true. So, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I'll say Chiefs.
Chiefs? You got a YouTube channel? It's Chiefed Up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just puts NFL highlights. Even though he misspelled Chiefs, this kid thinks, well, autocorrect isn't right all the time. So, but anyway, he's growing up fast, and I'm with Darius. I want to see Joe Burrow and the Bengals win it. I'm a fan of the orange, and I like the Bengals. Plus, I like Jamar Chase. He's the real deal. Kansas City. I mean, I liked them because they had Eric Berry. But
Travis Kelce's pretty good too.
Travis Kelce is pretty good too. All right, you gonna let me talk baits?
Yeah.
All right. See you, bud. All right. I guess next my freaking wife's going to come on here and advertise her hair salon business. I have no clue what's going to go on tonight. But anyway, let's get back to the BIGGS custom swim baits here. I did, hella bass. I had to create a new stream. I don't know what happened. Like, for some reason, I had no video. And I'm not going to lie, bud. You're the moderator. I didn't get no text that said, hey, you're sitting here talking, ain't nobody seen you. I just seen people having conversations. And I was like, this is really odd. I mean, I hadn't even got made fun of or anything. So, anyway, this is the other bait from BIGGS. This is the Denali. And this is a smaller version. It's about a 7-inch swim bait. I like the big eyes on these swim baits. For some reason, it's kind of like a kill spot, on a jerk bait. I feel like the bass, they really see those eyes and they react to it. Kind of like, you know, a hog father, the tater hog father's got those big eyes, the shizzard, the paperweight. They all got the same kind of deal going on there. This joint isn't as tight as on the bigger one. It's a little bit got more play in it, so you're going to see some really erratic, quick action out of this. These baits are also, the denali is really thin down here, really thin, so that helps it create a knifing action in the water. But here's the deal. I'm going to get a swim vid going for some of this stuff. I'd like to go out to a little pond by my house. It ain't got a lot of bass in it, but it's clear water, so you should be able to see these really, really good. Owner hardware on these, god dang, them hooks are sharp, and they will stick you. But there's a lot of guys buying these. A buddy of mine, Sheldon Collins, he fished the NPFL FLW Tour. Dude, he's putting a video up every day of catching like a 7 or 8 pounder on these things. I mean, he ain't no Josh Jones, but he's also not fishing OH Ivy. So when a guy like that is posting consistent fish catch, cast to catch videos, it really piques my interest. So really excited about this. And again, they sent these to me for free. You check them out. I'll put the link to their website in the description. John D, this was only 2.5 ounces. I'm going to say these are slow sink, maybe extra slow sink. The Kraken is 4.5 ounces. It's more of a slow sink for a big bait. Probably going to be better for fishing out deep, which is why I was excited to get it. John, I believe this 7-inch is like 85 or 90 bucks, and the big one might be a little bit more. The prices are on the website, so please don't quote me on that. But really, really good bait. There you go, Brown Bait Company. Thank you for putting those on there. What's up, David Williams? The small one's like 2.5 ounces, whereas the big one was 4.5. It's on the BIGGS Swimbaits. Dude, the Rapala OG Rocco looks sweet. Yeah, it does. I need to grab a few. I've kind of slacked on getting new baits. I've just been busy, and honestly, I ain't got freaking room anymore. So I got to figure out if I'm going to keep the bait stream here in the room in my house, or I'm going to move it out into my actual shed. The only problem is getting a Wi-Fi signal out there. We know about my Wi-Fi problems. Yeah, it's similar to a paperweight. The body's different, the joint's different. The only thing really similar is the big eye and the paintbrush tail. But everybody's doing a paintbrush tail now. So they used to kind of be something really cool that only a few guys did. Now a lot of guys are. This one, I like the Hogfather because I like that urethane tail. It looks really cool. And Matt Robertson, he's a big fan of the urethane tail. So. Yeah, maybe brown bait. I talked to TK Stanley about it, and another guy. I've got a really specific gizzard pattern that I'd like to have done on that for Lake X. But anyway, let's go. Let's unbox some softies. Let's go with what's up, Fat Boy Fishing. Let's do a little Basstrix unboxing here. Want to thank the good folks over at Basstrix Swimbaits. New owners for the last year or so, and they've really upped their game, and I'm about to show you guys why. What's up, James? I don't know anything about Headhunter Bait Company. I know Byron Childers does. Caleb, what pound test on those glides? Honestly, on that big one, I'm going to run 25-pound fluorocarbon. On the smaller bigs, I'll run about 17 and 20. You can get away with 17, especially if you're fishing wide open water. So I do feel on those big glides, if you can go down to smaller fluorocarbon line, you can get a little bit better action out of it. The con on that is a big bait, and if you get around cover, you're prone to some break-offs. But all right, let's talk about Basstrix. So this is the new packaging. It's got a little black, a little red logo. This is a new color they just come out with. I think you can find some of these new colors on the website. Tackle Warehouse sells a bunch of the OG colors and some TW exclusive colors that you can probably see on some of my previous streams, or go to my Instagram page, and I've got a photo. But this one is called Electric Smelt, and very kind of similar to the light hitch color that is absolutely one of my favorites, but this is almost like a green back. It's almost kind of maybe a green gizzard, and it's got this yeah, almost, it's kind of a silver line, and that belly's just got a little bit of shade of a blue purple to it. But man, you can tell these are not like the ones that were like, you know, Basstrix had some baits that were just real stubby, like there was no tail section. This is more like the OG that everybody fell in love with. Really like these. So that's electric smelt. That's just a good color right there. I mean, it's going to imitate a lot of bait fish. This one is, I'm really excited about this one. This is a form of Pro Blue. I think this is an exclusive color to one of their dealers. You may can find it exclusive on their website. But y'all like a Megabass jerkbait and Pro Blue? Dude, check this guy out right here. I mean, this is juicy. So I always like that blue kind of purple back. For some reason, those colder months, it really, really catches. And a lot of people don't know this, and I learned this from Bruce at Basstrix, that blue is the last color in the light spectrum, or color spectrum, to go away underwater. Like, I think you can see blue at like 25, 30 feet. Red is actually the first color that goes away, which blows my mind because most guys want to fish a red in the spring in muddy water. And we fish so many red, pink robo worms on a drop shot. And I actually think the reason they like that red is they can't see it very good, so they react with their lateral line. They're reacting off just the vibration. They don't get a good look, and they eat that red. You know, they take that chance. But man, that Pro Blue, whew, man, that looks good. Yes, if you don't know about the Basstrix, it is the first and the original hollow belly swim bait on the market. So one thing that's cool about a hollow belly, you see that right there, it just collapses. So when you have a belly weighted hook, I like an 8/0 owner hook, and when this collapses, man, that hook flies out. So Sawzey's is True Bass. So True Bass, there was a company before them called Hippo, and Hippo was actually the True Bass swim bait. I forgot what happened there, and Sawzey come out with the True Bass. I have nothing against them. They're probably good swim baits. They don't have the head action as a Basstrix. It's got more of a tail kick to it, a little bit of roll. They're not quite as hollow as a Basstrix. They're a lot thinner, but a lot of guys like them. And I haven't bought any of the new ones, but I've heard they're really, really good. So different strokes, different folks. Doesn't mean a bait's bad. It just, man, it's kind of like one of these deals. I've always had good luck on these. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. No, Salzman's never poured Basstrix. Matter of fact, his baits, the True Bass, are all made in China. And there's nothing wrong with that, but, you know, I'm just putting the facts out there. The last color I got is a really good color. This is called Shad Spawn, and it's just a plain looking shad color. Like, that looks really, really good. So they had another color Basstrix years ago just called Shad, and it looked very similar to this, but this one, you can't see it on camera. It's just got a little bit of green in it, but man, if you want to match the hatch, man, this is where it's going on. Really like that. So that's Shad Spawn from Basstrix, and that's just some new colors, and these are all the 6-inch baits. This is kind of the one that really started it off, made it really, really popular. But man, they got the tails dialed on this thing. These baits swim really, really good. So, but I got some other stuff from Basstrix here I want to show you guys that aren't just swim baits. I'm gonna find me another box to put these in. Matter of fact, actually I do got a few more swim baits, because I don't talk about these a whole lot, but if you guys like spotted bass, Caleb, you'll like this one. This is the 5-inch version, which is actually quite a bit smaller. And this color is called Spotty Special. And dude, this thing is wicked. So check this out. So that's a little 5-inch Basstrix. So the body's a little bit smaller. It's still a hollow belly, but check that out. It's got like a purple, gold, blue back on it. If you guys can see this, a little chartreuse on the sides. Oh man, I like this. The Jerky J is a straight tail. The Jerky J is a soft swim bait. It is not, or a soft jerk bait. It is not a swim bait. There is a Jerky J swim bait, but the one with the straight tail is a soft jerk bait. But yeah, this thing right here will get freaking blistered. Lake Lanier, Dell Hollow, holy cow. If you fish around a spotted bass lake, because for some reason spotted bass love these wild colors. But one thing I like, because it's a 5-inch bait, it's still got plenty of tail to it. You're still going to get some kick. Really, really like this. So you could rig this up on a little ball head, a small finesse swim bait head. You could even throw these 5-inch on an A-rig. Now, I will say, throwing Basstrix on an A-rig is really expensive. So I'm kind of like a Divine swim bait guy on the A-rig because they hold up really, really well. But man, that spotty special, whew, I like that. Now, if you want to get even more finesse, a lot of people don't know this, but you can order them on the Basstrix website and I think Tackle Warehouse. These are 2.5 inches. The tournament skeet won on Guntersville was that what put Basstrix on the map. He actually won a tournament before that on Smith Mountain Lake on a Basstrix, but the one on Guntersville is really the one that really blew him up a second time. Steve Kennedy had won on them, or won using them when they were out in California, and they got kind of popular. And then once Skeet won at Guntersville with the 7-inch, it just blew up. St. Juice Hollow Belly, you know what? Basstrix makes a table rock shad, and they have for a long time. It's pretty badass. Yeah, I don't like to use insert jig heads just because I'll tear the bait up really bad, but I like just putting on the Revenge head was really great on the bigger ones. That's the one I use the most. But for this guy right here, you're going to have to find a small ball head. If you got any crappie, check this out. This is the 2.5 inch. That is a tiny hollow belly. So if you're a crappie guy, or you want to get really finesse, you know what you could use as a swim bait head on these things? You could use a net head if you wanted to. Yeah, check that out. Oh, that color's called Live Bait. It looks awesome in person. Like, I can't get the camera to really show the detail, but dude, that's a small bait. Like, it's tiny. So that's a 2.5 inch Basstrix, and that color's called Live Bait. That looks just like a little minnow. I'm serious. I think we could let's see if we can get a little net action on this and see how this would look. So this is like all my finesse heads. I got finesse swim bait heads, all kind of stuff. Yeah, dude, you could drop shot. Yes, I do use the Spintrix trailers. I got something really cool to show you. Let's see what I got here. I'm not going to get crazy or particular. I just pull one of these out. I don't want anything that's got a... Alright. Check this out. This should work. I did not try the Revenge swim jigs, but I did use their spinner baits. So this is one of my favorite net heads. This is the Owner blockhead. Let's see how it looks if you pair it up with this little bitty Basstrix. Gonna rig this guy up here. This may work really good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. Look at that. Put that little net on there. That is about the perfect length hook for that small swim bait. And the cool thing is with that net head, you can let it fall straight down. It's going to stand up, or you can, you know, swim it back. Now, I don't use screw locks on hollow bellies because you'll really tear the nose up big time. So I like something I can push in, and this blockhead's got a keeper inside of it, so it's not. It might slide down a little bit, and that's okay, but you can always just dab some super glue. But man, that thing right there, dude, I bet that would slay some crappie in a brush pile too. Let's see here. Dude, they're so small, Brown. I think it'd be too small for a spinnerbait, but I got something I'll show you. It could be really good on a spinnerbait and a bladed jig. I have not used the Finesse version 2 jigs yet. I have not. I really like those Beast Coast jigs, to be honest. Will 6 ever make a Finesse Swimbait head? 1/0, 2/0 hook. They got the 7/16 with the 3/0 hook, but I would like to see something like that. 6 cents old hollow belly core used to be good. Oh yeah, I got some. I definitely got some up here in a package. I tell you who used to use those all the time is Matt Robertson, and the 6-inch ones swim really good. Didn't really care for the big ones, but the 6-inch and 5 swim really, really good. They're a little bit thinner, not as fat, so they get a lot more like action like this. So V&M pulsator paired with a Basstrix goes through cover just like a crankbait. Huh, that's awesome. All right, so that's the little 2.5 inch, and the color's called Live Bait. You can find this on their website. Dude, if I was going crappie fishing tomorrow, I would probably throw this. I guarantee you some crappie would munch on this, but this would be really good during the shad spawn or in the fall when they're feeding on that little bait, and it's really hard to match the hatch. Dude, that's amazing. All right, here's what else I got from Basstrix. So they got a new bait out, and it's going to be called the Live Tricks, and it's made for forward-facing sonar, so we don't have to worry about Randy Blockett using them. But you guys that actually like to catch fish and have no problem catching them anyway, because we like to go fishing to catch instead, you'll like this. But check these out. Cool package. This color is shad. This is the they had to change the name. It was Sonar Tricks. It's now the Live Tricks. And I'll show these to you really quick. So this is a 3-inch bait. They do not, John, they do not. The Core X Swimbait was discontinued about 4 years ago. I'll show them to you here in a minute. But this is a really cool little bait. I'm trying to get it out of the package here without just destroying it. There we go. So these are all hand poured, by the way. These ain't made overseas. They're all hand poured. Yes, they are different than the Flash Tricks. I've got some Flash Tricks here too, Hella, that I'll show you guys. Awesome drop shot bait. So this is the new Live Tricks. So it's got a forked tail, and it is designed to use with these little heads right here. These are the Live Tricks heads. So almost like a Demiki rig presentation. I really shouldn't say anything bad about Randy. He got really mad at me on Instagram. I'm not saying I won't have either, but he does not have a sense of humor. No, Randy's never even qualified for the Elite Series. Okay? What's up, Punch? But this is kind of similar to a Megabass body balance head, but it is really, really thin. It doesn't have near the thickness as a body balance. And it's also, this is a finesse style hook. So, Live Tricks. I need this size hook on that 2.5 inch swim bait. We'll rig her up here. And it goes on just like so. And check that out. Remember, you know how Yum has got the forward facing sonar minnow that really just kind of looks like a small fluke? This one's a lot more detail, and man, it looks really good. And the cool thing about this is, so there's no eyes on the swim bait. So when you put it on the head of your swim bait head, the Live Tricks head, you've got your swim bait eyes on there. I know some people are like, man, my swim bait's got 2 eyes. So you got a kill spot and then your eyes. This is, you know, you don't have to use active target or panty optics and none of that stuff. You can throw this right here without forward facing sonar. You can do a vertical presentation like Demiki rig. You can let it fall, pop it off the bottom. This is really, really sweet right here. What's up, Justin Royal? The Baitman Army. The Baitman Army ain't near as big as the Heater Army, but we're here and we're into baits. Thank you for joining, brother. I'm glad to see you get on the water and catch you some dragons, man. It just, every time I get ready to go fish, dude, we get a cold front. We got one coming tonight. My feet are freezing right here. But thanks, man, for joining. We got to get together and do some more fishing. Let's see. I'll answer a few questions real. What's the website for that Denali? It's BIGGS Custom Baits. Roy, I don't know if you've seen this. I know you like a Chad Shad. Check this guy out. I think you might like this guy right here. I mean, this has got you all over it. Maybe throw a little purple in there, a little white. Oh yeah. I'm not ready to say this is a heater yet because I haven't thrown it, but it looks like it might be juicy. This is a BIGGS custom swim bait. This one's 2.5 ounces, man. I think it's be really good for how you fish there at Lake Travis. We are going to collab, man. I actually did fish with Royal 2 years ago, and I'm just never posted the footage, man. We didn't catch many fish. That's Ronnie Kelly put us on an old gar hole, and it was rough. But I was there to yeah, dude, matches a giz big time. I was lucky enough to be in the boat when Royal caught his first A-rig fish. It's really awesome. So we had a good time, and I done told him, man, I get a week off every month. I'm gonna get down there to Tejas, and we're gonna go do some fishing. I'd love to fly Royal over here. He can stay at my house, and we'll go Lake X, Kentucky Lake, whatever. But good dude. So I always give a shout out. Cool story about Royal. He used to be in my channel every stream, asking questions, taking notes, and the dude said, I want to do YouTube, and he grinds like nobody else. So I got a lot of respect for that. And, you know, if I quit YouTube tomorrow or something, I would still consider him a friend. And that means a lot, because there's a lot of people out there that, you know, they want to be your friend to get likes and subscribers and all that stuff. Dude, like, Roy's my dog, man. I'll text him just randomly just to check in to him. That's how it is. That means a lot to me. So anyway, but we'll keep talking a little bit of swim baits. Again, that's the live tricks. I really like that. When I get me a boat, if it's dang inflation numbers will go down, I'm probably going to be doing a lot more finesse fishing. But and then here's another color they got. That's that shad spawn color. I like this packaging. Like if you got some tackle and you got to find something, you're going to know when you hit the Basstrix, because this stuff is going to pop out. But I like these heads, man. I think I can figure out some stuff with this. And then I'll show you the last thing Basstrix sent me. And again, appreciate the love from Basstrix. They're just OGs of the game, and you know, with new owners, you always wonder when a company has a new owner, is it going to be the same? Is it going to be worse? And man, they have made things better. Bayou, we tried to plan something in February. I think just with Ben fishing, the opens and everything going on, you know, guide season's full intact. I don't know, but you know, I could just get bored and just drive over and, hey guys, take me fishing. Let's meet up. That's a possibility. I really wish my lake was good like it used to be, because I'd love to get guys out here. This is probably one of the most underrated drop shot baits out there. These are really popular out west, and this is the Basstrix. It's a really cool bait. I'm ready, dude. All you got to do is let me know, and I can see if I can't get some time off. I'm not going to lie. I got some issues going on with my dad here at home. I don't really want to talk about it on the stream, but I'll just leave it at that. And we'll just got to make sure I keep that in check. But this is the Basstrix, man. Check this thing out. So this is a drop shot bait. And it's very thin profile, you know, almost like a little emerald shiner or something like that. But once you put this on that little hook, And you get your little drop shot hook. The thing's going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, man. So out west, these are super popular. Havasu, Lake Mead, Clear Lake. Guys drop shot this a lot. And this color is live thread fin. It's actually kind of a purple blue, similar to the Pro Blue. Dude, if I'm in Texas and I just bought some brand new electronics and didn't know nothing, I am hunting Ronnie Kelly down. So the cool thing about Captain Ron is he's not just a Lowrance guy. He's not just a Humminbird guy. He's not just a Garmin guy. I'm pretty sure the dude can make my Xbox work better. He just knows those things. And, you know, I've been in the boat with him. Literally, probably the second, third time I've ever really fished with Panoptix live scope was with Ronnie on OH Ivy. He gives me a 5-minute rundown, and I'm like, dude, I got it. And I literally catch a fish with it. So, but speaking of, this would be an awesome little bait on forward-facing sonar too, and that's the Basstrix. They've been around for a long time. I got to get my drop shot game dialed, and that's something that you might see this year. I got to get to where I'm not working as much, to be honest with you guys. But I want to give a good shout out to Basstrix. Go to their website. I'll link it in the description. You can order some of the special colors, or you can go to Tackle Warehouse, use my link, and order some of the Tackle Warehouse exclusive colors. But thank Basstrix so much for sending me that. Actually, it means a lot when a company kind of recognizes your love affair with their old school baits and takes care of you. Let's see, Baitman, you need to get one of those Spro Chad Shads. Real nice swim for a third of the price. So what I was told on the Spro Chad Shad is they made 5,000 in perch, or yellow perch, and that's the only ones that are available right now. And it's going to be 2 to 3 months before other colors show up. Not that color matters, because, dude, I could put some purple on that thing and we could roll. But I was really looking forward to some of the other colors, and they're just not available other than one color. So as soon as I can get my hands on, we'll play with that. So speaking of swim baits, and I can't take credit for this, Royal has shown these on his channel before, and I was lucky last week to get me some of these. And this is right here, the new mini draw from 6 cents. Look at that. I'm holding that in my hand. You can tell it is a mini. That color is shad sense. That's my favorite color, by the way. I love my Jank Juice, but for a glide bait, that is sick. But this is the mini draw. It's I'm gonna guess right at 6.5 inches. I might have to ask my wife. She knows what 6 inches looks like very well. But I hadn't even put the hooks on this thing yet. I did swim it a little bit in the pond, no hooks, and this has a good swim to it. So the joint on here is not quite as stiff as the big one, but dude, the mini draw, you could probably throw it on 12-pound line. Like, just being honest here, and I know Royal's got one. This is not a heavy bait at all. Like, this weighs maybe 1.5 ounces, if that. So when I swam it, it was kind of a high rider. It swam a little bit high, but I ain't got no hooks on it. So I'm going to tell you, in a glide bait, it don't take much to make one sink. So if you're going out swim bait fishing, glide bait fishing, always take some suspend strips, some wire with you, or some heavy hooks, heavier gauge hooks to make one sink. So I'm really excited about this. And what's cool is you don't have to have a $500 swim bait rod. You don't have to have some crazy swim bait universe. Nothing wrong with the universe. Some guy building you $800 rods to throw a swim bait on. I can literally pick up my crankbait rods and I throw a deep crankbait on and throw this. You don't even have to be a super, like a 10XD rod. You know, treble hook baits, I like my rods, got some bend in it and some flex, but I'll probably I think this handles some number 2s. I don't think you need number 1s on this bait right here, but some number 2 trebles should be okay. I'm thinking a late spring, early summer release, maybe even a couple weeks. I don't know, because they just blasted me an email about this bait right here that's coming out. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be killer during the shad spawn in this spring. Guys that aren't like that are pond fishermen, guys that are river fishermen that like a jointed swim bait, here is the new 5-inch trace. So it's definitely a lot smaller profile. And I will say, I think the tail is made out of a different material this time than the old trace. It's a little bit stiffer. I know some guys had some issues with the plastic melting on the tail. I don't see that happening with this version right here. And I don't see it coming out. So I like it. We had a new and improved version of something. It'd be really easy to just make the same thing, but we decided to change it and add some new stuff to it, make it even better. But that's a 5-inch version of the trace. Matter of fact, I'll get a big one out right here. I like the trace. This is a good bait. I love this color too. So this is the normal 6-inch trace right here. Oh yeah, material's a whole lot different than the small one. So this is the original, the OG trace. And then here's the little 5-inch version. I see a lot of guys gravitating to this smaller version right here. For something like this, I think Hellabass is on the right part. You don't need a really big rod. This bait, dude, I got crankbaits that weigh more than this. A 734C would be really good if you want to get a little bit more distance. You know, a 7'6" cranking rod. But honestly, a medium heavy rod, 7'3" to 7'6", is going to be really good for this. I wouldn't want a too stiff a rod, because at the end of the day, you got 2 treble hooks, and you can throw deep crankbaits with parabolic rods. Why wouldn't you throw a swim bait with a parabolic rod? So, really excited about that. Oh, dude, glides near bluegill beds? Yeah, man. That's kind of a little trick a lot of guys do. The jackal gantrail around the bluegill beds is a dirty, dirty little secret a lot of guys don't talk about. But I'm going to guess the trace, the 5-inch trace, it is 1 ounce. It says right here on the package, 1 ounce. That's not a heavy bait, man. There's a lot of rods out there that will handle this. I just would want something that's got a moderate, fast tip. I'll put this in backwards. No wonder I can't get the box closed. But I'm going to say, guys, this bait right here, we're a couple weeks away from this being out, maybe sooner. 6 cents, just send an email about the 5-inch trace coming soon. I'd look for it. Don't forget to hit that Baitman code in there when you go to the checkout. You ain't going to hurt my feelings if you use the Royal code either, because most of my guys watch Royal, and most of Royal's guys, some of them, now he's gotten huge, they probably don't know who Baitman is, and that's all good and fun. But yeah, dude, mainstream fishing, a good medium heavy is awesome. Are the bull shads worth it? So what's really cool about the trace is this bait's like 36 bucks. I know guys say, man, it's a $30 bait. But in the swim bait game, $36, man, dude, I forgot how good this color looks, man. Check that out. It's relatively cheap. Now, this is not a resin-based bait. It's ABS plastic. So there's some differences in the properties, but the swim is really good on these. So you buy a couple trace. You catch a lot of fish on them. And you say, you know what? That $36 wasn't bad. I feel pretty confident in my swim bait game. You go buy a bull shad. Bull shad's a resin-based bait. It's all handmade. It's the OG of joining swim baits. You buy a bull shad for 60 bucks. You catch fish on it. Now you're confident in swim baits. So what this can do is, if you get good with this thing catching fish, it's a gateway to get you into other things. Now, you know, that isn't always good, because then you're like me and you're spending $150, $200, $300 on swim baits and all that. Dude, I've never had an issue with a trace not swimming right, and that's straight up to me. And I'll be honest, I've not had any issue with any 6 cents baits not running right, but I tune every crankbait I throw. And it's really easy to tune a crankbait, and I don't understand how more people don't know how to tune a crankbait. Like, as good a quality as Spro is. You know, I love Spro Little John DD, Little John MD. If you watch my little stream with the Lure Lab podcast, Serious Anglers, see where I talked about that Spro Little John. I've had to tune those things. It's a really simple deal. And I try not to, long story short, judge a bait by if I need to tune it or not. I know a few guys have said their flat F4 didn't swim really good. Dude, my prototype swims as good now after catching many fish on it as it did the day I pulled it out of the box. So I don't know if maybe, you know, it's got internal weight transfer, and sometimes this happens and it's done really bad on the Spros, is it gets stuck. And I'm wondering if that thing has gotten stuck in a couple guys and it's causing it to get off kilter. But if you need a tuna crankbait, it's really simple. Show you guys real quick. I'll pull a crankbait out. If you need a tuna crankbait, this works for every crankbait. I don't care if it's balsa, a shad wrap, a flat side. Very simple. When you get a bait out of the package, it's not running right. What the heck? Alright. So you see it right there on the bill, and sometimes it's connected at the nose. There's a little where your split ring's attached right there. You guys can see. If it's running right, you take your pliers and see where I'm gripping that out. You just bend it left, and I don't mean bend it hard. I mean just kind of barely move it. If it's still running to the right, bend it left. If it's running left, bend it right. Not hard. And you just got to swim it by the boat a few times. But you had to remove the split ring on the F4 to get it to swim. That's it. That blows my mind. Because most crankbaits that come with a split ring, they're meant to put a split ring on. So that's kind of weird. Yeah, grab the line, not the split ring. Yeah, in balsa baits, if you feel the wire bend, you've kind of went too hard. It does not take much to tune a crankbait. You know, I probably need to make a YouTube short on that because a lot of people always ask, but that works for any style of crankbait. Believe it or not, a jerk bait can do that too. You do the same thing. So, last thing I got from 6 cents, and I think I might show this, and it's not a new bait, but we got a new color in this bait right here. Can we say translucent Jane juice? Even though it's not. This is Shad Dawn, but man, this has got that purple silver back to it, but it's got that kind of milky bone chartreuse belly. Huh. And I love the Provoke, man. This is a badass jerk bait. Like, honestly, for the money, I'm going to throw this over a Mega Bass. I love Mega Bass, and I definitely throw them, but you know, not everyone's got a Mega Bass version or Mega Bass wallet out there. And dude, the Provoke works really, really well. This is probably one of the best baits in the 6 cents lineup, and one I'm really confident in. But really excited about this new color, man. Check that. That's kind of like a light purple silver, and then that bonish. It's almost a clear bone belly. This thing will absolutely slay. So that's what's new from the 6. I'll answer a few questions. I know you love balsa baits. Have you ever fished with the black label? Absolutely, dude. I got black label baits in here. My thoughts is Cliff Pace makes probably the best mass-produced balsa out there. He hand tunes every bait. He hand paints them. He makes them all there in his shop. And dude, Cliff's got a ton of models, and he's got a new balsa glide bait coming out that looks freaking sick. So Cliff said he will do the Baitman show. I just got to ask him. So if you guys want to see Cliff Pace and Black Label Baits on here, talking a little balsa stuff, man, let me know. I'll get him on here. So again, be sure to give the stream a thumbs up. And tonight, I want you guys to leave a comment after the video. After the video goes, guys that are watching, leave a comment, your favorite part of the stream, favorite bait or whatnot. So what is my favorite black label? I like the Hickster really well. Let's see if I can get out my black label balsa real quick. If I got one I can get to. I may not. I'll show the one I really like, Justin. I've actually rearranged some stuff. Show you my favorite black label. Dude, these Spro boxes are freaking awesome. Like, Yes, that's true, Will. I think a Provoke Junior is in the works. If you're in the Milliken stream, you guys know that there is a silent version coming. But this is my favorite little black label. Get this guy right here. This guy right there. I think that's actually a black label peanut. Really, really like that bait right there. So very nice little flat side. It's not really big. Got that computer board bill. Really, really like that guy right there. That's a good one. And yep, here's another one. I think this one's the peanut right here. Yep, this is the peanut, and that's in the gizzard shad pattern. Really, really like. I like these small flat sides. They produce really, really well for me. And this is one. This is the black label Slim, which is a little bit bigger bait. A little bit bigger, but still slim. It's still a flat side. And I love that these are kind of fold, man. Reminds me of a wee bait. So yeah, almost everything the black label makes is really good. I like the Wreck. The Wreck is an awesome wide body squared bill. Yep, and he's got a medium size Hickster, the Hickster MR. And it looks really, really good. I'm excited about that. That's one I need to order up. He does make a Jink Juice colored chartreuse and purple. So it does have a nice tight wobble. Anyone try the black the Law Dog is awesome. So that's their walking bait. Dude, the Wreck I like better in dirty water. I like it better when bass are a little bit more aggressive. It's got a big thump to it and wide wobble. It'd work great in ponds. It's not going to die, but 3 or 4 foot. I do throw the full colors a lot. Bright Days, I like the old wee baits. I like the fulls a lot. I like those chartreuse fulls as well, the sun grainy stuff. So, I don't really think it looks like a Jackal Bling, man. That Hickey style, the WEC Hickey, that's been around a lot before the Bling, which I love the Bling. It's a good bait, but it's a lot different, really. The Bling's not balsa either. It's made out of, they call that shell material or whatnot, but I like the Bling. I haven't thrown any of the new ones, though. Marty Burns Dreamwalker. I'd like to grab anything. I love old Marty. He's a good dude. Shimano World Minnow is a cool bait. Dude, I like that boost flash stuff. Question, what 2 OG baits are you taking in the BFLs next season? Man, so I'm going to fish the first BFL. I'll have a Rapala DT flat with me. And I'll probably have, let's see, what else OG am I going to throw? Probably have a balsa bait in there. Probably a flat A. Actually, I'll have some flat A's and a DT flat Rapala in there for backup. So, hey, thanks, Rich, for joining in, buddy. Thanks for being a mod. So, but anyway, I got some Waterwood, man. I don't know where they're at, but they're really cool. So it's made out of like a Maripopa wood or something like that. It's not balsa. It's totally different. So the first one, the peanut. All right, I'll tell you what. I'll get a Bling and get a peanut and show you the difference. Cliff does have a bait. It's called the Bacon. That's basically a balsa version of a Bling. Let's see. All right. So number one, the lip angle is way different on them. Let me see if I can find my Jackal Bling. It's somewhere. Oh, it is here. It's actually in my balsa box. So I'll show you the difference between the Bling and the black label. But the Bling is actually Jackal's take on the old. It's all right. Here's the peanut. Here's the peanut. Here's the Bling. So peanut is much more rounded than the Bling. If you'll notice, the lip angle on the top one is a whole lot steeper than this guy right here. This one's going to dive a lot different. The bills are shaped different, so the bill on this one is actually, they're both thumbnail style, but this one's a lot more round at the edge. This is really squared off. So this one's going to be a little bit better for me around rocks than that one. But the bling is loud. This one, no, it's silent. So, dude, DT Thugs are pretty cool baits. I'm not a huge DT Thug fan. I'd rather throw a Shad Rap, but they have their time and place. That's the difference in those right there. I love the black label. I like the bling. It's an awesome bait. This guy here, this is a really cool bait that's got the same body as a bling, but it's balsa. Guy named Jerry Fromm makes these. Dude, check that out. Some of you guys have seen this before. That's a little jank splatter on that. It's a really cool bait. That's one I'm probably going to tie that one on BFL. Rocco's in stock at Tackle Warehouse. I'll have to check them out, man. I bought a bunch of OG Slims, and OG Slims are really good bait. But I bought way too many Slims. Rapala makes, their balsa baits are really good. But I'm not, so to me, if I'm going to throw a square bill, I'm going to throw a RC 1.5, a Crush 50X, or I'm going to throw a balsa. Rapalas are fine. I'm just not a huge fan of that body style in the Rocco, but I'm not a good fisherman. Haute Defoe, obviously a lot better. So compare the wobble on those two, man. I haven't really thrown that one, so I can't give you an honest answer, but I would say both are going to be very similar. What's up, peg leg fisherman? Heck, I got a double inline buzzbait that we made in the 80s, and now Evergreen sells for 17 bucks. Yeah, dude. It's amazing that the old school stuff has got so popular in prices of things. So, dude, so Nick Fulks is colorblind. I don't know if you know that, Stevenson, but he's colorblind, and to paint like he does is pretty awesome. Yeah, so here's the thing about that chartreuse purple. It ain't just a dirty watercolor. I'll throw that sucker in clear water, and for some reason smallmouth like that color in clear water, and largemouth. I think it's just they see it and they react to it. And I'm not saying you can't catch them on chartreuse and blue, but it's a confidence thing for me. Dude, I bet if you grew up with wiggleworts tied on, you wish you'd saved them now. But they're finally bringing the flag over here. Going to be at the show this year, so better work quick before all the US. So I always get. I'm going to be honest, South Jersey fishermen. The Japanese copy a lot of what Americans do, and nobody ever gives the Japanese guys any crap about it. So Megabass straight up has a hyper jerk, just like the 6 cents hyper jerk. It looks exactly the same thing. And then someone comments on my Instagram that all 6 cents does is copy Megabass, and that's false. Like, you could say the provoked jerkbait looks like a Vision 110, but they're totally different in person. And the Spromix stick, the Lucky Strike Rick stick, those been out for several years, and I didn't hear a lot of people hooping and hollering about that. But the new Megabass, I forgot the name of it. It looks just like a 6 cents hyper jerk. But yeah, I mean, I'm not just saying you at all, but it's something I see a lot of people. Everyone's like, man, U.S. companies, all they do is copy Japan. Well, they copy United States stuff all the time. How do you think the Evergreen Jackhammer came out? I mean, that was their version of a chatterbait. So a lot of people like that hyper jerk, man. Bo Stevens, what's up, Bo? I need to text you tonight, by the way. I'll be in Knoxville Saturday. I'm not sure if we're going to go to the game or not, but I got a friend coming with me, but we're definitely going to the show. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. Dude, Evergreen Flat Force is a really good one. What are our thoughts on the Berkeley Money Badger? I'm going to have to grab me some. I don't want to... It looks really cool. Obviously, it's caught some fish, but I would like to throw some. New line through the early summer. Early to midsummer, according to Ben. So, going through here. Money badger. I throw a bunch. Let's see. Yeah, so so to your point, their designs are taken from old school lures. Those old school lures were made in the United States or made, Swindon, Finland. So I'm kind of growing into this whole, that bait's a copy, this bait's a copy. Man, so many of the baits now are reflections of old school baits or baits that have been out for years. There's only so many ways we're going to make a crankbait, so many ways we're going to make a glide bait. Especially everybody's trying to imitate a gizzard shad. Well, I mean, we all know what one looks like. I think you might see some more colors in the DD Provoke. I'm not sure, but yeah, I know Rudd's been whacking them on that. But yeah, the Japanese definitely have an infatuation with the old American-made stuff. And I'm not saying JDM baits are bad or anything like that. I'm just saying there's always been this stigma that we're always copying Japan's baits. And in fact, they do it a lot to the United States baits. And it's just that we as United States guys, we don't go over there and see everything. All we're seeing is what guys are doing here. And I'm sure in Japan, there's still a lot of this guy's copying this guy, that's copying that guy. I mean, you can actually see it in a lot of their baits. But, I'm kind of trying to stay away from all that stuff now. So one thing Japan does do, they make a lot of really small and a lot of wild, crazy stuff that is totally different, that I'm like, there's not a chance I'm throwing that. But I think they do that because there's so much fishing pressure over there. You have to have something different and stand out. So I've got a handful of the badgers, and they worked well on Norris last week during the snowstorm. Awesome. I feel like it'd be a good running bait. It kind of reminds me, believe it or not, reminds me of the Jackal Muscle Deep, just a little bit, the way it's shaped. It's kind of like a Muscle Deep. Yeah, I hear you, Hunter. A lot of people have told me I sold out to 6 cents and whatnot. And let me be honest with you, they treat me really well. They do a lot of things for me, and I try to promote them when I can. But I also, if guys are sitting here, y'all going to ask about crankbaits, jerkbaits, soft plastics, I'm going to give you guys the goods, the bad, the ugly on anybody's bait. And I also try not to say stuff that I don't know about. Like some guys have asked me about the Money Badger. Looks good. I haven't thrown it, so I can't give you an honest opinion until I actually use it. And that's just kind of how I roll. I can test some of these 6 cents baits. I can help design some, like the Flat F4. That's my favorite bait in the lineup right now. I know that bait catches them. It works really good for me. It does what it's supposed to. Are people going to have some issues with it? I'm sure that's going to happen in a mass-produced bait. But I'm here to give y'all the goods on anything. If I've got it, I'll talk about it, Beast Coast. This guy's sitting here. Guy's like, man, you like that Beast Coast bait? I've thrown it on the back of a chatterbait. The Blade Runner, it's awesome. If that's your style, if you like a shad profile chatterbait trailer, this is a really, really good bait. So yeah, so I kind of agree with Rick there. I don't really care who copies who. If you can improve on existing bait, you can have my money. And there's a lot of baits, soft plastics, hard baits, spinner baits, that we really like the bait, but there was maybe one or two things we didn't like. And so another company makes something very similar, and it's better. And I think that's okay. Also, there's this. Like the Strike King Wake Shad. Awesome bait. Cast like dog shit. Was discontinued not once, but twice. Then they're gone. 6 cents comes out with the Speedweight. Casts a little bit better. Better colors. It's not discontinued. I can still get it. So, man, I'll be honest with you. I think the Flat F4 is a better crankbait than the 75X. And I think the 75X is an awesome crankbait. But after the Googans copied it, and then another company also copied the Flat 75, it kind of lost its luster a little bit. It still catches fish. I still throw it. But it's a totally different action. It's a little bit tighter. than the F4. It actually has a little bit more of a S-ing action, but the F4 flashes more, really tight action on it, and I think the F4 deflects a little bit different. That was a bold statement. My money goes to quality. I care about quality more than anything. I can agree with that. So that is one positive of a lot of JDM hard baits. Their quality is really good. And, you know, when Lucky Craft come up, it made everybody. When Lucky Craft got popular and people were like, you know what, I'll pay 12, 15 bucks for bait because it's awesome. Everybody stepped their game up. Strike King stepped up. Even Pradco started stepping up. Rapala, but you know, Rapala's different. They're balsa baits. They're not ABS plastic bait. Now the BIGGS Brat is obviously different, but F4 silent version, no, the F4 is bait. It won't be silent because it has a weight transfer system, and that's 6 Cents was not going to bring out another flat side crankbait with the same properties as the flat 75. So, in saying that, if you want a great flat side that's silent, use the flat 75. That rattle, which is the weight transfer going back and forth, it's like the old Spro Little Johns. It's just kind of a faint rattle. It's more of a knocking sound. But there's more versions in the F4 series or the flat finesse coming out. And that's all I can say. I can't send y'all no pictures. I can't tell you what's coming. But if you want silent, go with the 75X. Yeah, Stevenson, grab you a couple F4s, one or two, try them out, see what you think. I like them really well. Like, I'll keep some of my flat 75Xs in my juice colors, but I'm pretty much going to be converted to the F4. But I'm partial to it. I spent a lot of texting and a lot of photo taking to try to get that where it's at. Someone asked, what's the best flat-sided crankbait? Man, that's a loaded question because there is not a best flat-sided crankbait. I think there are a lot of flat sides out there that have good things. They all have their pros and their cons. I like the sink rate on a balsa or float rate on balsa. I like how they react to wood and to cover better. Cons, they bust. They go out of tune a lot easier, but they're expensive. Pros of ABS, they don't go out of tune well, but you know, what's the best 1.5 square bill? Oh, there's no best, man. There's no best. Like, you can ask me what's the best worm, what's the best spinnerbait, what's the best swim bait. There's no best. You know what the best bait is? The one you figure out that works the best and catches the most fish for you. It's just really hard. Yeah, there's a faint rattle in some of the 75Xs. Believe it or not. Let's see if I got one here that does. The 75X does have a faint rattle. Let's see if I can find one somewhere. I usually got one right next to me. Let's see. Dude, brown eye flat 75 sweet. So I would love to give you just a straight answer, Benedetto, but I just feel like there's so many good ones out there. I don't know if one's just head and shoulders above. So, like, when somebody asks me about the bass cheddar bait, I can honestly tell you that the jackhammer is the best one on the market, period, by far, hands down, no discussion. There are good ones out there, but as far as catching fish and making money, the jackhammer is the one. I just don't see that in a square bill, but I would say that, you know, so many people throw a KVD 1.5, you're going to see a lot of people say that, and it's a great bait. You know, probably for your dollar, it's hard to beat a KVD 1.5. In that mid-price point, 50X from 6 cents, you want to spend 15 bucks, it's hard to beat a Lucky Craft 1.5. Lots of variables in there, but like you just said, you know, your KVDs outperform your LC 1.5 at times. Dude, it's all about where you're fishing, what the fish like, and what's working for you. So, I mean, 6 cents is great stuff, John. I really like their stuff. I don't want to be a total companies shill and say everything they make's the best on the market. There's some stuff from 6 Cents I don't use, so I can't share that opinion. But I can make good arguments that, the Provoke for the money is one of the best jerkbait on the money. I love the Splashback. I like the Quake. I think the Quake and the Duke are very, very good lipless. So I would say that 6 Cents is probably in the top tier of bait makers, and I can say that without being a total homer. And dude, they take care of me. They make good stuff, and they're always constantly developing, trying to make good things. So, yeah, flat. So there are some guys that's got a flat 75, and I've seen this where they say they're silent. There's also some that are, it's got that faint rattle. Dude, I love the Lucky Craft SKT Mini DR, man. That's one of my favorite baits of all time. KJ Flat, man, that's a good one. I love the KJ Flat, and if I ever find any, I usually get them. So, yeah, so Cook just asked, what is a sleeper 6 Cents bait? And I was going to say the Munch. The 50X gets a lot of love. I wish I had a Munch next to me. I've got to just totally redo this. But that Munch has that round lip, like the movement. And so if you like a shallow crankbait that's real wild, really loud, kind of like a baby -1 or whatnot, that's the deal. Dude, you don't own a single jackhammer. Man, like, the jackhammer's the deal. I've always got jackhammers on deck, baby. Like that guy right there. And that's nothing against really anybody else's stuff. I mean, my buddy, Old Titty's Jig Works, makes an awesome bladed jig, homemade bladed jig. Dude, got to get the 6 Plastics, man. I like their stuff. Yeah, so that's kind of really how 6 Cents got really popular, was because of those paint jobs. Dude, Juggle Minnow is sweet. You can do the hover shot, you can drop shot it, all that. So, anyway, dude, I love the Bomber Flat A. Like, you can't tell me it's underrated. Dude, I got a box full of them son of a guns up there. So, but dude, I can't believe if you don't own a jackhammer, man, you got to grab you some. Like, they were on sale at Tackle Warehouse not long ago. If you know the right people, you can get them for $12, $13. Dude, I guess I never saw that, Nathan. I'm sorry, man. It's all good. Norman Fat Boy, that's a good OG bait. That's a good one. Do I have any other baits to show off? Nothing new. I mean, we got baits, that's for sure. I don't have nothing new, Brown. But hopefully I bring you guys some good stuff from the East Tennessee Fishing Show. Man, if you got to take out a home equity loan for $13, I'll be honest, I don't think jackhammers are that expensive anymore. I'm finding them all day long for $13, $14. My best trailer on a jackhammer, Hog Farmer Spunk Shad. I like the Juggle Minnow. If I want a shad profile trailer, a thin trailer, I like a Spunk Shad, or I like that Juggle Minnow. Worked really good for me this fall. The Beast Coast Blade Runner Minnow, and a Zacco. That's my favorite 4 trailers. Now, I've seen guys use creature baits. If you want a wild approach, your dirtier water, putting a pack of craw on the back. They put a game hog from Strike King, a rage bug, more action, bulkier stuff. The only problem when you go with stuff like that is you don't get more. You get a lot more. The bait gets wilder. It doesn't stay very streamlined. I like mine kind of natural. So. And I'd like to do the hover strolling. I don't know if that's a technique that'll work out here or not. I'm sure it will. Andy, probably Saturday and Sunday. Definitely be around the Hog Farmer booth, the Bull Shed booth, and go hang out with my buddy Taylor Watkins over there at Omega. If there's a fantasy bait team, you would be my pick. Man, I appreciate that. Yeah, man, missile baits. I knew about that collaboration a few months ago. I was told not to talk about it. And I threw it up on my Instagram when it happened. But it's a really cool deal. Really cool deal. I haven't got any of the new ones. I plan on trying to get some this week. So, Yeah, around Christmas, I was seeing websites selling jackhammers for $9 or $10. I'm pretty sure you could buy them at Academy not long ago for like $11. So, um, and I'll be that guy. I don't let price of baits dictate what I throw. Like I'll throw a $400 swim bait. I'll throw a $2 Mr. Twister Sassy Shad. I'm all about trying to just catch fish, and you don't have to have expensive baits to catch fish. But I do believe that if you want to throw a bladed jig and catch more fish, that a jackhammer is the way to go. Back in the day, we didn't have a jackhammer, so it was basically the chatterbait, and whoever wanted to knock them off or make their version. Maybe a confidence thing to me, but $3 or $4 million in winnings across the tournament scene on just the FLW and Bassmaster, it's pretty hard to argue against the jackhammer. Not to sound like Randy Blockett or anything, dude literally told me on Instagram that. So I made a little Instagram post with the Taylor Swift song that's, hi, it's me, I'm the problem. And I had Randy's tournament winnings from 2018 and 2019, where people didn't use live scope, which was the point. I posted his tournament results from the years there wasn't no live scope, and his best finish was 46. My point was, maybe live scope isn't the problem. Maybe as anglers, we want to blame our problems on stuff like the price of baits, the price of live sonar, other things other than our own ability. I'm comfortable with being an average angler. I'm not trying to be a pro, and obviously I took a lot of heat from the Randy sheep on there. Mini Max is a really good bait, John. Really good bait. But so Randy doesn't like me, and he made to come out that he's sorry he wasn't paying attention. He was too busy putting his $2 million tournament winnings in the bank. And I was like, yeah, well, if you're bragging about tournament winnings of $2 million, and you've been fishing for 40 years, you're literally telling me that you're excited of making 20 grand a year. So again, I have no problem personally with Randy, and I think he makes some funny ass content on YouTube, whether I agree with it or not. And he's figured out the algorithm, and yes, he's gotten to where he makes people click. But I just get sick of the back. I guess what it was, I watched a video, and it basically said if you use live scope, you're not a fisherman, and you're the devil, and only video game kids will use live scope and all that. And I'm like, my son's pretty good at video games. And if he ever learns how to use electronics and gets his fishing level up good, he would be really good. And he understands that. And, when I was growing up, it was computers are the devil. And now the same people that were telling me computers are the devil make up the demographic of people that tune in to my live streams on YouTube. So, I turned out okay. And at the end of the day, it's cool to be old school. And there's nothing wrong with old school. I love old school baits. I like to do the old school flipping and stuff like that and fish that. Because I've been that way. I was, ledge fishing, structure fishing before live scope, before side imaging. It's fun. But, dude, I like catching fish. And if the easiest way for me to catch a fish, especially in a tournament, is using live scope or forward-facing sonar, if I'm fishing with someone that's got it, I'm going to use it. I'm going to learn to get good at it. Because I'm not going to be that guy that's the laughing stock that refuses to do anything and still gets my brains beat out and say, oh, I want this band, I want that band. People are saying the same thing with side scan coming off. So, I'm willing to debate on any topic. I told Randy, hey, man, if you want to debate it with me anytime for fun, we can anywhere. So I'm not paying $10 for a jig when the dude can't win $1 on it. I saw tonight, Randy basically said the reason it's $10 is because real Ozarkians hand tie his jigs. All other jigs are made in China. I hate to tell Randy, I made this video before. 90% of the jig companies in the United States are made in the United States. Like, most people do not have stuff made overseas. You may see some stuff from some bigger companies, But most of your jig tires are in the United States. I mean, Dirty Jigs, Nichols, United States. Bass Patrol, Dim Jigs, they're made here in the United States. So, but don't tell me that it's okay for me to pay $10 a bait because it's made in the United States, but then try to sell me a $25 Megabass jerkbait because it's better because it was made in Japan. All right. Bill Lewis makes their baits in the United States. They are a hard bait maker that makes it in the U.S. And shout out to them, dude. Rattle Trap is OG and as good a bait as it gets. So Olam's OG, made in Texas, yes sir. But that's true. The Bass Assassin. That's a good name. It's hard to pronounce, but. All right, I don't want to get on a Randy rant because that's really not what my channel is. And if I ever do, I'm always doing the rants for the laughs and not to be serious. So I think it's a good thing to have humor, a sense of humor in fishing. It's good to be able to make fun of stuff and have an opinion, but we're not going to get out here and just personally dog on people. Again, I respect Randy for what he's did and everything, but man, there comes the point where you just can't be hard-headed anymore. Especially if you're fishing for $1 million. Like, literally, if I go out and buy a super late model tomorrow, a dirt car, I'd have no right to complain if I'm not willing to put the latest and greatest equipment on it. You know, if there's a new part you can put that keeps the wheels from spinning. If they made traction control totally legal and I decide that I'm not putting it on my late model because I don't believe in it and I'm getting my brains beat in all the time, comes a point that it's not fun anymore and I'm just being silly by not keeping up with something that's totally legal. So that is very true, Gramps. The old Bantam was actually made by Shimano. It's partly true. So Shimano produced the Bantam, or they produced the Lew's BB1 for Lew's, and then the Bantam was basically Shimano's version of it. So, but you're right, very right. All right, yeah, it's kind of a smaller difference than the 80X. It doesn't get as wide, it cooks. Also, welcome to the stream, Gramps. Fishing on Hope, purchase a Daiwa to 200. That's a great starter swim bait reel. I think you'll like that purchase. But yeah, that's correct, Rick. So everything can kind of tie back to something. You know, there's a few original ideas out there. John, I've had some Spros and Strike Kings, and I've had Lucky Crafts, but I'll be honest, I've been blessed to not have a 6-cent splint down the middle. So what that actually is, the way hard baits are made these days, they're sonically welded together. So if you keep your baits in a bass boat or somewhere that's hot a lot, and even though they're stored, and then you store them somewhere and it gets cold, it's like concrete, expands, contracts, and a lot of times they bust at the top. The seams come out undone. That's not a 6 cents problem. It happens I've seen it happen on everything but Rapala because they're balsa, but I've seen it on a Spro, I've seen it on a Strike King, I've seen it in Pradco baits. I have seen people post about with 6 cents made, but anything that's sonically welded like that, they just tend to swell, and that's what happens. It doesn't matter if you put them in a box or store them by themselves. Actually, it's better for them to not be in a box, but obviously you can't do that. But dude, I wish maybe we can get Norm on here. I need some baits from Norm too. So, but guys, I'm gonna have to get off here. I've got some things to do. Got to get up early in the morning, go see my voiceover man. Just put a new video on Mark Menendez's channel, BIGGS we were fishing on Kentucky Lake. Didn't catch any giants, but I tried to tell the story of it was a tough day, and that's how it happened. So go give Mark's channel a subscribe for me. I'll upload a new video probably tomorrow or next day. Darius, thanks again, man. But Darius, we gotta go fishing soon. So, but hey, thanks, Bass Assassin. Thanks for joining the channel, guys. If you're new, give me a sub. I got some videos coming. I got one with Matt Robertson that I lost my footage the other day, and I got it to work again. So we'll try to get that up this weekend. We're going to do a live from the East Tennessee Fishing Show Saturday, so you can come join me as I walk around. If you're there, come see me. Don't ask me for an autograph because I'll feel really weird signing it, but give me some nucks, and let's talk some baits. Thank you guys so much. Hey, go get Brown Bait Company. He says he's got 2 subs away from 800. Let's get him there, guys.